Who is this God that you serve?
Who is this God that you
I
serve?
call him my keeper.
I call him my revealer. There's one thing for God to reveal the end from the beginning to you, but another thing is what will you do with that revelation?
But because of I have a God that keepeth me, he said that I am your keeper, that he's my shield on my right hand.
Who is this God that you serve?
This God that I serve, I call him my revealer. He's the one that reveals the end from the beginning. He sees the end and reveals it into his chosen one in the beginning. I remember there was a time in my life when in a new year. And that year I was praying for different things in my life. The more I pray about different areas concerning my life, God was just revealing a particular message, a particular answer. I was only getting the message of death. Like I will pray concerning my academics, my finances. Only thing I will be seeing is me dying, me in the coffin, different areas. I was like, what is all these dreams about? I remember I even got to a point that even when I get to church, I will be expecting a different miracle, maybe healing. But the pastor will call me and stand, like, when is my turn for him to minister to me? What you will say that, daughter, you will not die. Daughter, the plan of the enemy concerning your life will not prosper. Another day, he will call me out and say, I will not die. Like, this thing continued for like almost 3 months. And it became annoying. Fast forward 5 months later, after all these revelations and all these dreams that I was having, if I did not escape death that year, I escaped death more than 6 times. 2 months in that year, I spent it in the hospital. We're fighting for my life. I remember that even out of that 6 experience, there was 2 that was very serious, that I actually died. I became unconscious, and if not for the mercies of God, I would have not been alive. Before I forget, another thing that you should note is that there's one thing for God to reveal the end from the beginning to you, but another thing is what will you do with that revelation? What will you do with that revelation? When God revealed those things to me, I did not fold my hand. After it came, I had to go to God in prayer. I had to fast and pray to cancel that death. So even before it started, I have already sent prayer ahead. So when it started happening, when I started seeing myself being sick, seeing myself almost dying, seeing the doctors resuscitating me, it was not a new thing. God has already said it before it began. So if you're a child of God, just as God said in his word that he knows the plans he has for us, plans of good and not for evil, to give us an expected end. So God can be saying, you can be thinking and be planning for one thing, just like how I was planning for the year, seeing myself having great visions for that year. But God has already seen the plan of the enemy for me for that year, and he knew what I needed. He knew that I needed life more than finances. I needed life more than food, more than academics. He knew I needed it. So while I was praying for that thing, he was answering me for that thing. So God has a good plan, a better plan than your own. He said, I know the plan I have for you, plan of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. So if you're a child of God, don't be afraid. If you know God, just believe that your life cannot be cut short because of his word. He's seeing the end for you. He's there in the end. So no need of shaking. He's the God that sees the end from the beginning. That's the God I serve.
Who is this God that you serve? I will go first. I call him my keeper. So you will understand why I choose to call God my keeper, my Yahweh Shabbat, just as he said in Psalm 121 verse 5, the Lord is thy keeper. Let me give you a backstory. When I was younger, when I was a child, I was that kind of child that always falls sick. And because of this continuous occurrence of sickness, many people around me thought that I was going to die as a child. I will not live to grow to a particular age, that I'm going to die young. It even got to a point that because of the frustration and everything, I remember there was one of my relations that told me that I'm those kind of children that they don't need to bury me. When I die, that nobody will cry for me, that they will just put me in a carton and throw me in a bush.
Sorry.
Even my dad, there was even one time, because of this whole sickness, that even told me that if I want to die, let me die so that they can rest, because they were all frustrated. Me hearing this as a child, it was so traumatizing. So whenever I fall sick, even as a child, I would say, I will not die, I shall not die. I'll be falling, sometimes I'll faint, sometimes I'll be in a very chronic pain. So everyone around me had this expectation that I am going to die, that I will not make it. But because of I have a God that keepeth me, he said that I am your keeper, that he's my shield on my right hand, that the sun will not smite me by day nor by night. I don't know why he kept me to this moment, but today I'm calling him my keeper for keeping me from death. Not just only from death, from keeping me from the expectation of men. Let me tell you, whatever you put in God's hands is safe and secure, because he has said it in his word. And whenever he's determined to preserve a thing, he will make sure he does it and do it well. So you can trust God with your life, you can trust God with your business, you can trust God with whatever he does, because he has called himself our Yahweh Shammah, our keeper. He kept that little divine, from those countless sickness, from those countless near-death experience. He kept that little divine. Even that time that I lost my mobility, he kept her. Did I fall sick? Yes. But did I die? No. Was my life cut short as men expected it to be? No. I am still alive. I am still standing. And I will not die. I am not leaving here anytime soon. Because that keeper that kept me then, he's not only keeping me from death this time around, he's also keeping me from even sickness and diseases. So that is the God I serve. He's my keeper, just as he promised. He keepeth me. Oh, shut up.